Hello. Welcome to the daily political tarot and astrology here on the Black and Orange channel. Thank you so much for being here. I apologize deeply. I apologize down to my toes for how late I am today. I mean, I'm never this late. I appreciate your patience with me, and I do apologize. Oh my gosh, some days, every once in a while, things completely fall apart. Also, if you have any prayers, to spare, please pray for Sarah and her husband. Sarah has COVID again. So she's not feeling well. And I'm probably not going to see her for a few days. So we're not going to see her for a few days. Not in the afternoon, not... Okay, why? It's just, it's that kind of day. It just is. All right. Anyway, thank you. All right. It's kind of hard to see with glasses on. All right. So anyway, but we have got questions to read on today. Whoo, Republicans behaving badly. Holy buckets. Holy buckets. All right. Good enough. All right. It'll have to do. Okay. All right. Let me get out the tarot of mystical moments. It should be... Is it linked down in the description box? It should be. Yes, it is in the description box. I'm actually going to move it to the bottom of the questions. So if anyone is wondering what deck I am using, it's right there. Save. All right. You want to read on some Republicans behaving badly? Hilda's asking worse than they already misbehave. Oh, it's a day. Yeah. Cheryl Clark is asking, is Sarah okay? She's at home. I mean, she's not in the hospital, which is excellent. But, you know, she has her health issues through no fault of her own. And, yeah. Anyway. And, okay, I've got the crazy nails on, but come on, box. Please open. The box won't open. Oh, okay. Wow, it's not even Mercury retrograde. Haha! Yay! See, we get there eventually. All right. Okay, we have cards. We have questions. We're gonna jump in, and we're gonna look at people behaving badly, but we're gonna go through the news together, which makes everything a little bit easier and a little bit better. That we're not in this alone. Ricky says, and the star of the show, soon to release his debut album, Please Please Pet Me, the fifth Beatle himself, Boo Boo Zen Kitty. Are you warming up over there, sweetheart? Or are you warming up over there? He's like, I'm not camera ready. I'm not camera ready. I don't know. Why are you showing me? I'm not ready. Anyway. Okay, so let's jump into the first question, 4 minutes in, from Glenn. Hello. Oh, is the video freezing? I'm not getting a low internet warning. Oh, and I did, the audio should be okay. I've closed all the tabs that I know of. All right, so let's jump in to Glenn's question. Biden will return from the G7 ready to focus on the debt ceiling, hostage threats. Yeah. Boy, there's no happy medium. There we go. From the GOP. Will public learning of the harmful cuts made by the GOP force raising the debt limit before a budget? Dems will probably not get the 2/3 votes to expel, but it will force the GOP to show where they stand. Expel? Okay. I'm going to read on Biden and the debt limit. That's what I'm going to do. Okay. Thank you, everybody. All right. Hey, Uncle Joe, how's it going? There's there are things he hasn't taken off the table yet, like possible work requirements for SNAP benefits or what have you. And there are progressives who are fuego, very upset about that. But we'll see. Let me see what the cards say. But I don't know that it's necessarily he's like, yay, let's do that. It may very well be, oh, there's an idea. Yeah. Wow, what an idea. Let me file that right away. Okay. Let's have a look. Amendment 14, Joliet says, yes. Page of Swords. Legislature. Look, McCarthy may be the Speaker of the House, but he's pathetic. And he is hostage to the far right because that's the deal with the devil he made. So look, 6 of Pentacles, charity. 5 of Pentacles, out in the cold. The World. King of Wands. 6 of Wands. All right, well, McCarthy's hoping for this big right-wing victory. And they're going to cut benefits. And they're going to show that he's going to show his power. Really? Because I'm reading on this is it. These are the cards I'm getting. But the card for the reading is a legislator with delusions of grandeur. So maybe I should be reading on McCarthy. And this is the debt ceiling situation. Will McCarthy get what he wants? McCarthy. Exactly, Jolie asks. Cut money from those who have little, but they're not willing to raise taxes on the ultra-rich. Exactly. Mm-hmm. Keep in mind, if McCarthy leads the Republican default on the debt, Wall Street is going to hang him up by his toes. King of Swords. You better be in charge of your caucus and your party, and we've showed just how much power you actually have. King of Wands again. So that's him. King of Pentacles. He's trying to work with the far right and the moderates. The Moon is right in the middle. The World again. And the Page of Swords. This is McCarthy trying to go back and forth between the regular Republicans and the absolute Looney Tunes. This is chaos right in the middle, which is what's the potential here. But this is the world. This is the end. End of chapter, end of book. And a very weak McCarthy. Don't forget, these people on the far right, they want to burn everything down. They honestly do. Because they think only by burning everything down, they can then have their rebirth of the far right utopia. And please remember that the Greeks who created the idea of utopia, it's a perfect place. The word utopia literally means nowhere. because it's not real and it's not possible. So Eight of Cups. All right, there's negotiation. There's information coming in. There's, all right. I mean, it's Joe Biden has been he was in the Senate for how long? How many decades? Then he was vice president. This is, he'll talk. He's willing to talk. And there's nothing wrong with talking. It's what you vote on in the end that matters. Chariot. Big deal. Empress. Major Arcana. Ten of Swords. This Ten of Swords, it doesn't feel like us. This feels like us. This feels like all the legislative swords going in McCarthy's back. Am I just... Is McCarthy going to lose this fight in a spectacular way? Oh, thank you, Say. These are great cards. The Sun. Oh, it will all come to light. Okay, and there's hope. There's a positive energy. King of Pentacles again. High Priestess. Higher Wisdom. Six of Pentacles. I'm not getting the Tower. I'm not getting default. I'm not getting the Devil and the Tower, and will Biden have to give up all kinds of stuff? I was getting cards, and then it was like, nope, right off the top of the deck, which usually means very upfront, out in the open, straightforward, clear energy. Again, Eight of Cups. Hermit. The Sun. Three of Cups. That's us being very pleased, and that's the center card. There's the Moon with the King of Wands. And again, okay, so I'm getting a similar message. This is the Hermit. This is isolation, which we'll get to at the end. Sun, everything in the open, in the clear. Welcome to summer. This is Democrats relieved, celebrating. And this is chaos with the King of Wands. This is McCarthy. Hermit. He's there. It's chaos. His people turning, the far right going against him. I just don't get that we're going to default. I just don't. So, Cheryl Clark says, remember how many times people voted him out of being speaker? He lost 14 times. He made it through on the 15th vote on the full moon. All right. At 14 minutes in, there was over on, I have a subscription to Raw Story Plus. So, because right now they've got really good exclusives. And so, I move my, I usually have, I have a subscription to Apple News. So when I wake up in the morning, I can see all kinds of stuff. But other than that, I usually have one subscription to like the Washington Post or whatever. And Raw Story, man, they've had good stuff for a while now. So anyway, one of their headlines was Republican Work Requirements, a solution to an imaginary problem. So will they get their cruel, will they be able to add that dose of cruelty? Lisa Graham says the coup continues. No. Attempted stupidity. I mean, just look at Jim Jordan, but not in reality. We're okay. Really, we'll be okay. All right, Republican work requirements, 8 of Wands. Oh, I'm getting some, immediately it popped into my head, if wishes were, there's usually some variation of, if wishes were blank, I'd have, that's what I'm getting. Oh, they have lots of wishes. Page of Swords, again, weak. Knight of Pentacles, more. All right, this would be the more centrist Republicans, and they're not happy with the idea of defaulting. 2 of Swords, that would be a decision, and it's right in the middle. 4 of Wands and 8 of Cups. Honestly, when it comes right down to it, I don't think McCarthy's going to have the votes to default. I mean, he's weak and pathetic, but I don't think he's going to have, I don't think these more moderate Republicans are going to make that decision. Trump himself at the CNN rally said, absolutely default. Unless they take $7 trillion out of the budget. The heck are you talking about? That man's never been on a budget or understood a budget in his life. They just like throw numbers onto contracts like they're noodles in a wall. 8 of Cups, and then this would be gathering the votes. Yeah, I think we're going to be okay. I honestly do. So that's what I get. If I was getting something different, I'd tell you. All right. Okay. Is the GOP in trouble? I've got 3 questions about that. Starting at 1720. Recent elections have not gone well for the grand old party. GOP in major election slump, and analysis says there's a strong chance it gets worse. Yes, please. So, in general, is the GOP going to remain in a major election slump? Going through the big election, November of next year, 5th? Is it November 5th or November 3rd? I think it's November 5th. I can't remember. 2024? Yeah. All right, so GOP, are you going to continue to crash and burn based on your own cruelty and bad decisions? Look, the consequences of your own actions. Here you go. 6 of Wands. Oh no, it's going to be a far-right victory. No, it's not. No, it's not. Have a good day, cat. Temperance. People are tired of this garbage. They're tired of cruelty. Stop. 5 of Cups, 6 of Cups, Death, Ace of Cups. Well, I mean, things can obviously change, but I usually get Cups for Democrats, Pentacles for Republicans, and Wands for the far right. And then often swords are usually either legislation, legal matters, law enforcement, something like that. Well, I've got Temperance starting out the whole thing. Then we have the Five of Cups, which is a disappointment. The Republicans have been trying to kick down Democratic ideals of, I don't know, decency, civilization, kindness, a rising tide that will lift all boats. How dare we? Six of Cups, this would be nostalgia, but it's still the cups. But here's a death card right there. And Ace of Cups, which would be a new beginning for Democrats. It's like they're barely here. They're here as disappointment, and your policies are GOP. Your policies stink. That's a point, Dr. Nancy. GOP needs foreign money as usual. Well, with Russia suffering and not being able to pour money in over here, kind of also makes you wonder how effective the GOP is going to be during the next election without the Russian backers. Fran, thank you so much. Thank you. I don't know, maybe care one tiny little bit about human rights? I know, crazy talk. All right. Is my lipstick migrated? Is that what's going on here? Hang on 1 second. Oh, Sandy Miller says, my 10-month-old granddaughter saw you on my phone, smiled through her binky, and waved at you. Hello, sweetheart. Hello, precious one. Oh, what a sweetie. What a sweetie you are. Oh yeah. Let's just take a little bit. I can't do much, but yeah, let's take a little bit off the edges. Good grief. All right. Dun, dun, dun. Next, we're specifically going to look at Florida. Thank you. 2230 specifically. So sweet. Okay, this is not sweet, but this is what we're here to do. We look at the news together. Florida Democrats see hope after the, quote, huge bloody primary, unquote, cost GOP key election. So specifically in Florida is the cruelty party. Are they starting to twig that? Are they going to be losing some power in Florida? Florida, Six of Cups, nostalgia. Gosh, I remember when women had rights. I remember human rights. They were a great thing. I remember when we could read whatever book we wanted to. That's not asking for much. Hermits. Yes, there are red states doing heinous things, but Florida has become a little bit of an outlier. Death card. And chaos, the moon. That's Florida. Yeah, I think they're ready for a change. I think there are quite a few voters who are like, you know what? I miss the good old days of not the crazy, not the 1953 garbage. I miss going about my life. Good to see. It doesn't mean there's going to be a landslide against the GOP, the far right, but it's not looking as good as it did. Not at all. Let's hope that keeps up, because they're not going to modify their views. They're not going to become less cruel. So, but even if we have some people Hilda Flores says, "Oh, good. Many are waking up. If some are waking up, that's what we need." So, okay. So, at 25:15. How's this for a headline? Trump's alliance with the GOP could reach a breaking point soon, says a political scientist. Anybody got any popcorn handy? Oh, I'm so sorry, Douglas. That's not right. That's not right. All right. Trump. Alliance with the GOP. Or by alliance, is it the GOP is forced to just go along, whether they like it or not? Or is the GOP actually going to try to boot Trump? Because it hasn't been working. Trump gave a swath of the population the absolute okay to let their cruel, racist, misogynistic tendencies fly for the first time in their lives. They don't have to hide it. They don't have to couch their language. They just let all their grossness hang out. And no one in their lifetimes has given them the ability to do that. So even when the others come up to try to take over Trump's base, unfortunately, the quote by Maya Angelou, unfortunately, it still works here, which is people won't remember what you did. They'll remember how you made them feel. Unfortunately, it works both ways. Three of Swords. Swords through the heart. I mean, plus the fact, Trump's a loser. He just loses. He loses all the time. He made it through once. That's it. Other than that, and he didn't even get the popular vote. Other than that, lost midterms, lost the presidency after 4 years. People did he? No, I heard this. I thought they were kidding. Did he really suggest Dr. Oz for an important political seat in Florida? Was somebody kidding? I hope they were kidding, because he doesn't live there. And anyway, moving on. King of Pentacles, Five of Pentacles, Four of Cups, Six of Wands, Nine of Pentacles. Whatever keeps Republicans happy. Because even if they don't win the big offices, as long as they've taken over the school board, as long as maybe their governor is far right, maybe their local whomever is far right, that's enough. That's enough. King of Pentacles. So this is Republicans, but out in the cold. This is their just absolute refusal to listen to anything that Democrats might be trying to push, including human rights. This is a far-right victory, and then sitting pretty. When I am feeling particularly ungenerous, sometimes I think that they would vote for Mengele if it meant that they could, that core group, they would, if it meant that they could just let all of their racism, misogyny, and cruelty fly. And that's sad. Okay, but anyway, we're moving on. A couple of the Thomases are not completely out of the news. Now, there hasn't been any big movement forward necessarily. 31 minutes in. But the Supreme Court is being scorched for making political bribery all but legal. They are blind to their own corruption. So it's still in the news. I just want to know in general is this problem with the Supreme Court, is it going to continue on, or is it going to just, are people going to just forget? Dave says that they'd vote for Satan if he was white. You're not wrong. Okay. Supreme Court, Queen of Wands. Ginni Thomas, anyone? I think the next question is about her. But it's not just her. The Emperor. Yes, indeed. That patriarchy. Yeah. All right. You know I've got doubles in this deck. I just got 2 Emperors in a row. It's one thing to have multiples of a few cards in a deck. It's another thing when they come out right together, which is whatever this meant, big time. Judgment is in the center. 2 of Pentacles. So the more conservative side of the Supreme Court is getting on shakier and shakier ground. Oh, and speaking of the devil, yeah, this isn't going away. And you know how I know this isn't going away? Major Arcana, Major Arcana, Major Arcana, Major Arcana. And the human level is on a tightrope. So yeah, not gonna go poof. Yeah, the corruption at the Supreme Court is not going to be forgotten. Name of the deck, Azalea, is Tarot of the Mystical Moments, and links in the description box underneath the questions. Okay. Oh boy. Okay, so look, it's a new Ginni Thomas headline, 34. And if you're wondering why I'm using so many headlines today, it's because there weren't enough questions. So, all right, 33. That should be 33.50. Okay. Ginni Thomas has donated tens of thousands of dollars to GOP candidates. Of course she has. Actually, if that, to be honest, that doesn't even feel like it barely registers on the horrible things she's done. I'm glad you found it, Azalea. Ginni Thomas. Oh, there was some kind of siren outside. Wonder if that was symbolic. Okay, I've got a death card for the reading. Wow. King of Cups, 10 of Wands, 5 of Cups, Judgment, Ace of Cups. just I've got, hang on. I've got to blow my nose. Hang on. Sorry, I probably should have muted it too. Sorry. This is not good. Well, King of Cups, guess who's in the White House? Not Trump, not a Republican. This is the burden of the far right. This is the 10 of Wands. Right in the center is the 5 of Cups, which is disappointment that they haven't been able to, well, we're disappointed in them and they're disappointed they haven't been able to push everything farther to the right. But there's a big old major arcana justice right there and an Ace of Cups, which would be a new beginning. Biden, new beginning. This is not going away, and she is a problem. Man, okay. Okay. Dr. Nancy says, Democracy Docket says the Senate is working on expanding the SCOTUS. I mean, Biden's not in a hurry to do that because he's afraid there'll be backlash for an election. But also, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. There are 13 districts the Supreme Court is oversees. Why not have 13 justices? Why some justices have more than one area? Why not? 13. Anyway, all right, next. Oh, we have a Trump question. We have one Trump question, then we get into, wow, Republicans behaving badly. All right, 3720. 3720. New reports on the Trump docs reveal a felony and possible espionage charge, says legal experts. Let's look. All right. CNN reported there's new evidence revealed in the special counsel's investigation of Donald Trump's document scandal. According to the National Archives letter to Trump on May 16th, the staff intends to provide special counsel Jack Smith with 16 records that would reveal the White House advisors were taught the appropriate ways to declassify documents. The 16 records in question all reflect communications involving close presidential advisors, some of them directed to you personally, concerning whether, why, and how you should declassify certain classified records. Yeah. And then Richard Painter, who's not exactly a liberal activist, explained this is an example of Trump lying to the federal government. Yet another felony. And national security lawyer Mark Zaid explained that the case has never been about the mishandling of national defense information or classified documents. It's about the Espionage Act. Mishandling classified information is fairly frequent, noting that he wouldn't be surprised if every president since Reagan or even before had done it. What's at issue here is that Trump and his inner circle were told how to properly classify and declassify information. So, yeah. Liar, liar, pants on fire. So is there going to be, I want to see 3 cards for possible felony charge or charges, and 3 cards for espionage charges for Donald J. for Traitor Trump. What does the J stand for? Genius. Apparently that is literally what he said to a young Democratic operative who was a huge fan. He said, what does the J in your name stand for? And Trump just, genius. Okay. Oh no. I wanted 3 and 3. Felony and espionage. Sorry, I got distracted by that because every time I remember that, a little piece of my brain breaks off and goes floating. All right, Trump. Felony charges. The documents. Or espionage charges for the former president, Donald J. Trump. Charges. Big old scary charges. Queen of Wands, which would say to me, not just him. He roped all kinds of other people into this mess. All right. Felony charges for the ex-president. The Lovers. 10 of Pentacles. I can do whatever I want. Now we know that's not legal. I do whatever I want. This is the Emperor. I have total power. This is the Lovers, all of my cult followers, and this is the Dynasty. Me and mine. We do whatever we want, which is illegal, and we know that. All right, what about espionage? What about espionage charges for the former president? 9 of Swords. So, kind of worried about that. He actually went to, he stood up at one of his rallies, speaking events, narcissism feeding frenzy, and he said, they want to accuse me of being was it espionage? Or he wanted to accuse me of being a traitor, and one of the possible penalties for that is death. And I thought, dude, they're not going to kill you. And then I thought, wait a second, are you really worried about that? There's my other Emperor card. And there's a 4 of Cups. He's worried about it. But a 4 of Cups, it's full up. He hasn't listened. He has so many opportunities to do the right thing. Day after day after day after day after day, and day after day after day after day, he chose not to do the right thing. So Jack Smith charges not on the people around Trump, but actually on Trump himself. Come on, Jack. Hilda Flores for spiritual and entertainment purposes only. True. 2 of Wands. For right communication. Hermit. Sun. 9 of Wands. High Priestess. 6 of Cups. It just doesn't look good for him. Hermit, isolation, it all coming to light. 9 of Wands is he's feeling beaten up. Now you know how we feel. High Priestess, this is secrets. I'd like to say it's higher wisdom, but this is secrets. And then this is that card of nostalgia and us getting on with our lives. That's major arcana, that's major arcana, that's major arcana. That's not pleasant. This does not look good for him. I mean, I don't have the Justice card sitting right here, but it feels like almost like it's deeper than that. This is a betrayal of our country on some kind of even deeper level. All right. All right. Republicans behaving badly. A handful of questions here, all different people. 45, 30. No. 40, 45, 25. Apparently, they're voting on whether or not to expel George Santos today. Please correct me if I am wrong on that, because that's the question here from Lisa. Lisa, will they vote to expel George Santos today? Will the vote happen, or will they delay it? Any chance of Santos resigning before a vote? No. No. This is the only protection he's got. Plus, he needs the money. And since a sitting member of Congress cannot be arrested while on the floor in Congress, someone the other day, I wish I could give credit, I couldn't remember who said it, just said he's going to bring his sleeping bag and just hang just onto the floor of the House. Deborah Johnson says that's what we were talking about when we first came on. Okay. Jennifer Taylor says they voted to put it to the ethics committee. Okay. So is George Santos going to be gone soon? Chariot. Well, they want to run him out on the rails, but I've been getting that the Republicans are going to drag their feet. Yeah, exactly, Rose Blue. He'll be dragged out, fingers gripping the doors of the Capitol building. Yeah. Knight of Cups. Yeah, it's like, you're embarrassing. Tower. 10 of Pentacles. 2 of Pentacles. King of Cups. Yep, right in the middle. There's your establishment. There's your Republican dynasty or establishment right in the middle. And they are just, they cannot lose the vote. They cannot go without his vote. And they basically know that when his seat goes back up for the next election, it could very well be taken by a Democrat. So, but he's an embarrassment. And he's just gross. And even though Republicans are on shaky ground, they know they are, and they're really they would consider even a single seat flipping to benefit Democrats and Joe Biden. So what did I say earlier about the far right would vote for anybody if it meant they could stay in power? Jolene Larson says they wouldn't expel Hitler if they needed another vote. There's a part of the party that would. There's a part of the party that wouldn't. You're right. I'm not actually, rightly or wrongly, I'm not tarring the whole Republican Party as being the far right. There are moderates out there. Unfortunately, they don't have much of a voice. And I'm not saying they're my favorite people or I like their policies. I'm just saying they haven't all drunk the cafefe, but enough of them have because they like it. They weren't forced. They were like, oh, I've been waiting my whole life to have this poisonous concoction. Great. Because at 49:30, Jenny Straunch was asking, does that mean the GOP will lose a seat or how will that work? I don't know exactly. I would imagine, this is kind of a Google question. I would imagine that someone would be appointed to that seat until there's a special election. That's usually how it goes, but I don't know the laws in New York. Jennifer Taylor's asking, is it cold in Chicago today? It's 69 degrees now. It was cold. It was cool this morning. So this might be a little bit heavy for later today, but this morning it was useful. Empress. Will they lose the seat? Will, it's like, I don't know. It's the sentiment's the same. It's like that line from Office Space. It looks here like you've been missing a lot of work. I would say I was missing it. Yeah. Santos. 5 of Cups. Magician. 4 of Wands. Burn it all down. Do whatever you have to do to stay in power. That's the far right's base of power. Magician. Pull a rabbit out of a hat. Do whatever you have to do. 5 of Cups. Shut down every Democrat you possibly can. Yep. Okay. Oh, I thought I wrote down the time for that. Oh well. All right. Well, 51:30. It's almost time. It is almost that time. Headline: Florida Governor DeSantis to enter the U.S. presidential race next week. Goodness gracious. DeSantis. Janelle says, I think it's great. It gives him less time to mess with Florida. By foisting all of that on the rest of us. All right, Florida does need a break. That's true. Ace of Cups. Nothing is going to bring Democrats out to vote like Ron DeSantis's voting record. Yeah. Anne says, does Satan sign that bill yesterday, I think? Oh, is that the one that allows him to stay in office while he runs? Yeah. 6 of Swords. Going up the river? Kind of odd. Page of Wands. King of Swords. Judgment. Page of Cups. This is a presidential run? This is a presidential run? Really? Card for the reading is the Ace of Cups. Six of Swords. So, okay, maybe taking your legislative ideas up the river to the country. Page of Wands. Page, not even a king. King of Swords. Okay. Judgment. And a Page of Cups. This is not a winning combination for running for the presidency. This is pathetic. What? I don't even know what to do with this. All right, let me see. 3 more. Yeah, and exactly. Little pages. Not even kings. Well, a king in the center, but it's not. It's like king of what? That could be legal problems as much as him. Betty says that's why he doesn't want to announce that he's running. Have to report money. Oh. Linda Johnson said he's going to get caught with misappropriation of state money. Ooh, entertainment only YouTube. Is that a thing? Because that would explain the sword card. Azalea says, I hope it's legal problems. Well, I hope it's that. I hope he doesn't get hurt. I mean, I don't think he will, but I just hope he doesn't get hurt. We know there should be no violence in politics. Maybe naive of me, but there should be no violence. Anyway. Ooh, Janelle says, yes, it's going to court. Temperance. Something of a tepid response. Two of Swords. I'm making a choice. Strength. Eight of Cups. Devil. Lovers. Okay. I realize he's going to go around the country. He's going to do rallies. He's going to be around people who want to be there. But this is voters across the country, and this is a whole lot of get stuffed. I'm going to announce, and we're just like, yeah, we're good. We're good. And this is usually the pile of cups with the person in red having to walk away, because it got a devil with the cult members, where it's like, no, we're temperance for the reading. Just no thanks. Talk about the cold shoulder. Ooh boy. Couldn't happen to a bigger jerk, because it would be harder to find a bigger jerk. Well, then again, there are a handful of them, now that I think about it. All right. So, then we have 3 questions left. All right. With things not going horribly, but not going particularly well for any of these 3 people. Empty G, Jim Jordan, and Josh Hawley. So at 57:40, Empty G says she feels threatened by Black Democratic congressmen. I tried reading the article. I tried to understand it. And what it sounded like was she was out talking to people. It was some kind of outdoor setting, and she was there, and he was there, and at one point they were talking to each other, and it seemed all very okay. And then later she turned around and said that he had threatened her, and Pretty in Blue says there's a video of it. Okay, so he really threaten her? Because Joyce Matthew says there's a video. I'm just what's it a video of? Of things being okay, or of him attacking her verbally? Not that I necessarily blame him, but he was yelling at Santos. Jennifer Taylor says there was a Black congressman next in front her. He was yelling at Santos. Lisa, not attacking her. Yeah, I was getting serious. Remember the woman they caught on video in Central Park, was it? Who said she felt threatened by a Black man who was there, and he's got his phone, and she's I feel threatened. She's like 6 feet back, and he's like, no, I'm just standing here. That's what this feels like. Lois McDonald says there was a black representative yelling at MTG in New York. Okay. Frida Smith says she was laughing. Lucky Girl says he was hotly debating her and trying to debunk her lies, but she felt threatened. Knight of Pentacles. Ah, the battle axe. Empress. Seven of Wands. Temperance. Seven of Pentacles. Six of Swords. Oh, the energy coming off of this. Man. Can you say back in the day, when white women who felt threatened could lead to very bad things for Empress on the defensive. Temperance is in the middle. This is America. This is being on the defensive for her extremist views. Temperance is in the middle. This is fruits of labor and the Six of Swords. And the fruits of labor is, I say what I want. I get what I want. And he should go to prison. That's what I'm getting. Pretty in Blue says she's laughing while yelling her lines. She is so vile. She is so vile. I thought I despised Michelle Bachmann. I tip my hat to you, MTG. You have surpassed the disgusting nature of both Michelle Bachmann and Sarah Palin. You have found whole new lows. Ugh. Anyway, moving on to Jim Jordan. Because at 103:10, you know his clown show where they're bringing whistleblowers and they're, government overreach and deep state and blah, 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 right? Jim Jordan hearing descends into chaos after GOP withholds whistleblower testimony. Let me share. Share screen. Jim Jordan hearing descends into chaos after the GOP withholds whistleblower testimony. Jim Jordan's hearing on the quote-unquote weaponization. Oh, come on, don't be difficult. What's going on here? Okay. Jim Jordan's hearing on the weaponization of government turned chaotic on Thursday after Republicans refused to turn over witness testimony. Following witness statements in the Judiciary Committee hearing, Stacey Plaskett and Debbie Wasserman Schultz demanded to know why some testimony had not been shared with the Democrats. It's my understanding that the minority in this committee, under the rules, is entitled to the same testimony, information, and documents that the majority is entitled to. Jordan says when it comes to FBI whistleblowers, you're not. What? One Democrat complained, that's not right. We gave you all the information we had. A Republican interrupted. Mr. Chairman, I can't hear 5 people at once. And Wasserman Schultz says, I am inquiring. Jordan said, and as I've told you, when it comes to whistleblowers, you are not entitled to it. Mr. Chairman, these individuals have been determined not to be whistleblowers, Wasserman Schultz said. These are not whistleblowers. They have been determined by the agency not to be whistleblowers. Are you deciding that they are whistleblowers? Jordan says, yes, the law decides. Wow. Just wow. Yes, Cindy, a thumbs up. Thumbs ups and subscriptions help a lot. A lot. Please. I can't. Jim Jordan's hearings. It's so twisted. It's so, this guy is so bent. 6 of Wands. The far right victory. Queen of Cups. That would be Wasserman Schultz. The others who are standing up for democracy. 10 of Wands. Burden of the far right. 9 of Wands. Feeling beaten up. King of Swords. Wheel of Fortune. Well, just give it time. This is Jim Jordan's big chance. Just give it time. He's got his committee. Things are trucking along. He is burdened by the stupidity of the whole thing. This is the far right being beaten up by the whole thing. This is women on the Democratic side standing up for what's right. But just Wheel of Fortune. This is it. This is his big chance. And he's getting nowhere. This is it. You're shot at greatness. You only get one shot. Do not miss your chance. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. You better. Anyway, this is pathetic. Yeah. 3 of Cups. We're going to be fine. He's a joke. 4 of Swords. Legislatively, legally, quiet as a tomb. Quiet as a tomb. Out in the cold. All right, I think it goes this way. Quiet as a tomb, out in the cold. 9 of Wands. Feeling beaten up because they're not getting anywhere. They're not getting anywhere. And says, yeah, he thinks he's so important. Yeah. Okay, and finally, Josh Hawley. Oh, 109.15. Let's say 109.15. Oh, is this recent? I think this is recent. Yes, published May 18th. This is brand new. Shall we look at the review of Josh Hawley's book? National Pipsqueak, Josh Hawley's epic disaster book on manliness, buried in brutal review. Slate has published yet another review of Senator Josh Hawley's book on masculinity and manliness. The reviewer described Hawley as America's leading national pipsqueak. Oh, okay. This is jumping around. Hang on. Let me see if I can just use this. Yeah, this thing is acting up. Okay, his book is called Manhood, The Masculine Virtues America Needs. Yes, indeed. Please go back. It's filled with Peterson-like advice for men to live lives of personal responsibility. Yeah, right. With the goal of serving as providers for families, as long as they're far right and white Protestants. And yeah. It never mentions Trump by name. In the chapter on being a king, Hawley briefly acknowledges the existence of men who desperately want authority for all the wrong reasons. Then he basically describes Donald Trump, person whose name does not appear in the book. They preen, they abuse, they dominate, they see others as a means to their own ends. Was he describing himself in a mirror, I'm wondering? So, yeah, that's that. So Josh Hawley's book on manliness. Our country is saved. Yes, and how to run in a manly style when in fear. Yes. Zippy Hawley. So, yeah, Josh Hawley. 3 cards. He doesn't deserve 3 cards, but 3 cards on Hawley. Brave Josh Hawley ran away, bravely ran away. Judgment. Yes, you are pathetic and disgusting. 8 of Wands. Far right. Ace of Pentacles. Oh, trying to make some money. I don't know how much, like, the RNC, they buy up copies or what have you, but a Page of Pentacles in the center for a book you brought out, and you're on the national stage. 6 of Cups, yeah, not flying off the shelves. No. There are a lot of people who go to bookstores, especially when the weather's nice, There are a lot of people when it's like, oh, the weather's nice, let's go out. They go out to a coffee shop and a bookstore and that kind of thing. They're not picking up his book. No. All right. Thank you so much for being here with me, going through the news with me. It's so much better when you're here. Thank you. All right, it is 1:44 p.m. here in Chicago. At 3 o'clock, I'll be over on the Creative Sprints channel. Sarah won't be here, I'm afraid, but I'll be here. I'll be there, and there are other people be there. So bring your creative projects. I am almost through budgeting for my creative business. Oh, sometimes I get to, actually do the production side, creating, writing, doing all this stuff. And sometimes you've got to do the business side of a creative business. And I'm trying a new system, so I've got to get it working. And I'm close. So hopefully today. All right. And then I can get back to the merch, like the images for the new merch and covers and writing and all the good stuff. So anyway, thank you. Have a wonderful rest of your day. You are not alone. We are in this together. And my goodness gracious, are there good days ahead? Oh, yes, indeed. All right, hang in there. And I'll see you right back here tomorrow.